I'm working on one of the sub-projects in Beyond Sharia that is called Feminizing Masculinity. And more precisely, I am working on a female Persian poet, Jahan Malik Khatun, who was a poet of 13th to 14th century. What makes it interesting is to see how she used Sufi themes, motives, and concepts. My focus, I should say, is on qalandari themes within Sufism, and those are like, for example, wine drinking, dancing, going beyond the limits of what is accepted in Sharia. Her poetry was not known, actually, until a few decades ago. That was, and this collection was edited and published in Iran, and now I can say I am the first person who is trying to delve into this aspect of her poetry and see what actually is different in a woman's poet as a Sufi compared to her counterparts as male Sufi figures. Writing belonged to the outer boundaries, and women were supposed to be inside and secluded. So if you write, you are communicating with the outside. That's why one of the reasons, of course not the only one, but she excused herself for writing and for being a woman and writing. That shows that actually women, and she was a courtly woman, so she was a royal figure. And if you consider all these details and see how she felt about writing, shows that probably women didn't have better days in medieval ages either. Within Sufism, the idea of femininity or women, the concept of femininity or women in general is a contradictory or paradoxical issue. And that's why it's interesting to research and see why these Sufi male figures have this different thoughts about women, or different outlooks about to include women or not, and if they include them as men or women. They try to find a kind of excuse for themselves to include women in their works or include them in Sufism as saints. What I do is just a preliminary step to start and see what femininity in Sufism meant actually, why male figures feminized themselves, and why they used such metaphors, feminine metaphors, to refer to themselves, and why they masculinized women like Rabi'ah.